Hello everybody and welcome to another video. I'm sitting here with my stack of books for my July TBR, debating what to read next. I was going to make a library book or a continuing series video, but instead I think I'm just going to mood read from this stack or maybe even from my cart depending on what I feel like reading, because I have no idea what I feel like reading. I should read the library books because I should bring them back soon. They're not really speaking to me in the same way that they were when I picked them up, so I don't know what to read next. I have been on a very large fantasy kick right now, so I think I would like to step away from fantasy a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe a romance? Okay, I think I'm choosing between these three to start. Role model, because self-explanatory. We used to live here, because a thriller, and I think that would be kind of fun to read right now, or I hope this finds you well. I believe this book is someone who gets access to everybody's emails in this office space in her company, and just kind of chaos ensues. Seems like maybe she's a little bit of an ego. I think it might go into romance though, and it's gonna be sunny here for a couple of days. I mean, we're in summer, but it's been raining off and on. I think that maybe this is where I'm gonna start. I hope this finds you well. I will keep you updated. I will let you know how it goes. We're probably gonna read 3 books as always. I just don't know what the next ones are gonna be, or if they'll even be from this stack. I have no idea. Maybe it will be 3 library books in the end, but currently this is the one I think I feel like starting with. I'm about a quarter of the way through. I hope this finds you well. Like office chaos, which it has the office chaos, but it is deep already. Our main character, Jolene, has been caught sending emails, rude emails, one in particular to her coworker. And it comes out in chapter 1 that she writes what she really thinks about them in the bottom of the email and then changes the font to white. But it turns out she forgot to change the color on one of the emails she sent. So she just said some really awful things to one of her coworkers. And here's the thing. Her coworkers are not great people either. Everybody's human, but she is not a great person. And I'm finding it really difficult to root for her. I'm gonna need the author to give me some more reason to empathize with Jolene, because it seems like I know that she's depressed and anxious and she has lost her best friend from high school. Those are things you know kind of right off the bat, but it's not good enough. I think she's a mean person and she victimizes herself. So I'm curious where it's gonna go, because I would love to root for her. She's now working with a new person in HR named Cliff, and he seems like a lot of fun. He seems like a really good character, and she is being rude to him, and he deserves better. And it seems like she knows that there are layoffs coming. Everybody in the company kind of has an idea of that, but when they changed her settings on her emails so that they would be alerted if she used any words she wasn't supposed to, they accidentally made it so that she could see everybody's emails, which is the part of the book that I knew was coming, but I didn't think it was because she was a bad person. I just thought maybe there was some mix-up with like an update or something. She also sees the awful thing that people say about her, and people are mean. There's one person in particular in the office who is quite rude, but she's rude back. It's kind of like you can dish it but not take it situation. So I'm curious where it's gonna go, because I really like Cliff. He's kind of keeping me reading, and I'm enjoying the writing and the speed at which the book is going. I just am not liking Jolene. So I'm gonna keep reading. We will see if my opinion improves. I really hope it does. It is 3 o'clock. I'm gonna read until I start making dinner in a couple of hours. Let's hope this gives me something to root for Jolene, because I really want to, but currently, I don't think I can be her friend. Sometimes I like a morally gray person where obviously they're still human and they have flaws, but if I can't see myself connecting with that person and feeling that empathy and wanting to be friends with them in real life, I'm not really sure why I would want to root for them here. I don't want her to fail, but she needs a reality check, I think. So I'm hoping that happens sooner than later. I read for like 30, 40 more minutes, and if it's possible, Jolene got worse. than she was, but so did everybody else. So I am still struggling a bit, but I'm still liking the story enough to keep reading. I just love a character-driven story, and I don't love any of our characters. So, except Cliff. I think Cliff is the best person in this book, but I think he's supposed to be the best person in this book. The one thing I have to say is when she's reading people's DMs and emails, she's like glancing over her cubicle walls and making too much eye contact with them, and they're getting suspicious, and I'm like, girl, just stop looking at people. She has a staring problem, and it's bugging me because after she gets called out once, she just keeps doing it, and I don't think that's realistic for someone with her anxiety. Anyway, that's my little brief update. I am doing something completely unprecedented and unlike me, and I am DNFing. Maybe a soft DNF, maybe I'll come back to it before I have to return it to the library. I have, I don't know, 2 hours of reading left, and I just can't find it in me to care. Jolene is so annoying, and now some unrealistic things have happened. She has made choices that I don't think anybody would make in her position. There are conversations happening that I don't expect. I am fully aware that she's an unreliable narrator and the things that she believes about people might not be true, but everybody is kind of awful. She thinks the worst of people, so then I'm thinking the worst of people, including her, and I just can't bring myself to care about what's gonna happen. I tried the audiobook. Maybe I'll go back to the audiobook. That might be what I do, but currently I don't care. I spent way too long on this book to DNF it, so it feels awful, but I don't care. I'm not interested in it at all. So I'm gonna put this down for now. I'm gonna pick my next book. Don't know what it's gonna be. Don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done today. It's date night tonight. I just picked this back up, read one page, and put it back down because it doesn't interest me at all, and life is too short to read bad books. But I don't think it's a bad book. I don't know if it's just like the feeling that I'm personally in right now. I need to put that down. So I'm putting that down. I will give you an update on what the next book I choose is once I choose something. It's Tuesday, and it was Friday when I last updated you. And I have read 54 pages of a new book since then. I don't think I'm gonna slump. Here's the thing. I think I just am choosing to spend time doing other hobbies, and that's okay. So I've been reading Poirot Investigates by Agatha Chrstie. I thought if I am getting into a slump, because DNFing a book does tend to do that to me, a book that I just like really am not vibing with tends to make me feel like not picking up another one just in case that happens again, I think. So I thought I'll do a cozy mystery because Agatha Chrstie hasn't steered me wrong. I was a little bit nervous about this one because it's 11 short stories, not one, but I'm having so much fun. This might be one of my favorite things she's ever written. I think if you're not sure if you're going to like Agatha Christie's writing, start with Poirot Investigates because she can spin a tale in 20 pages. Every story is like 20 to 25 pages and it gets me excited and I don't know what the outcome's going to be and it's so quick. I will say, you can tell it's written in the 1920s, I think it's 1920s, based on language choices that are not great. Yeah, I've been reading like 1 to 2 stories before I go to sleep every night. And that has been the way to do it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do something that I would never normally do. And I'm gonna stick to doing that. I'm gonna read this right before bed every night for like 30 minutes. And I think I'm gonna pick up another book to read when I feel like reading during the daytime. I just don't know which one yet. I should technically read a library book, but I renewed them and I have them for a few more weeks again. So it's like Role Model or something on my Kindle, which I am supposed to read. Of Darkness and Light is on my TBR, but that is like a 600 page, I'm assuming 600 because that's how much the first one was, page fantasy. So I'm not into that right now. So I'm just gonna look at what I have on my Kindle. No, you know what? I'm reading Role Model. Probably after work today I will start this and then I will keep reading this when I go to bed. I don't do this. I don't read 2 books at once. This mood reading vlog has turned into like the weirdest time ever. I was gonna say week. It's already been like 2 weeks and I've DNF'd 1 book. I'm not slumping, I promise. Carla, don't slump. I want to keep reading. I also have just been playing Hogwarts Legacy and I never end up beating video games. This is my video game problem. Same with TV shows, honestly. I binge it for like 2 days and then I stop. And then when I start again in 6 months, I'm like, oh, I have to start from the beginning. I don't remember where I left off. So I've been determined to finish it. I'm 50% of the way through. So I probably won't get a ton of reading done. Hogwarts Legacy or reading. Those are my 2 afternoon options. We will see what I decide on. It's a couple days later. Let's do a little reading update. I am still reading Agatha Christie. I'm now page 75. I am enjoying my one little story before I go to sleep every night. It's very fun. It's very cute. I don't have much to add because, like I said, 15 to 20 page stories that are good. And I highly recommend. And I started Role Model yesterday, maybe the day before that. I was very tired. I finished my work day and I just felt completely wiped. So I went to bed before 7, read this for an hour, and then went to sleep. So I am 96 pages in, right? I did read 2 chapters last night. I'm still playing Hogwarts Legacy more than I'm reading, but that's okay because it's the hobby that I feel like spending my time on. I was mistaken and I actually thought that this was Shane and Elia, and it's not. I didn't read the back. I just bought the whole series and started reading it. So this is Troy, Barrett, and Harris. And Troy used to play for Toronto with Kent. So you would know Kent, I think, the most from Wyatt's book, which is Common Goal, I think, right? Wyatt played with Kent and Troy on Toronto's team, and now Troy, it starts by saying, had a total breakdown at practice and started yelling at his best friend Kent, calling him a rapist, and he got traded to Ottawa, and he's pretty butthurt about it because Ottawa is a losing team, and he, I think, has only played with like hard-ass coaches and people who maybe think that the camaraderie is the lowest on the bar of what they need to hit, and he just wants to be good at the sport, and he is learning to socialize with his teammates and become maybe a more jiving team that way. So Troy is firmly in the closet, and he had a boyfriend who broke up with him, came out, and was engaged to someone else. So he is going through it. He's really going through it. Okay, I'm just editing this, and the next things I say about this book could definitely be spoilers if you haven't seen the TV show. If you've seen the TV show, it's totally fine, but I also think you can't describe some of the relationships in this book if you don't say these things, and they are pertinent to explaining the book. So if you haven't read the series or the second book or watched Heated Rivalry, maybe just skip this, because I think I can't get away without saying it. It's not like a huge spoiler for anything in particular. It's just like a team that somebody plays for that is not common knowledge if you haven't read or seen this, and it doesn't start that way in the series. Does that make sense? Anyway, that is my little editing Carla popping in here just to tell you that. It's not a huge spoiler. It's not going to ruin anything, but if you don't want to know absolutely anything, it is a little spoiler. And now that he plays with Elia, they are finding these commonalities in their life. Just a little bit. It's just happened like once or twice. And I think that's really good for Troy to see that there are other people like him with the upbringing that he had. So it, just like all the other books, gets a little deeper than obviously the romance. So he meets Harris because he's the social media manager of Ottawa, and they don't actually really hit it off right away. I think Harris really likes Troy, but Troy finds him a little bit loud. He is not used to that. He's the strong, silent type, and Harris is like this jubilant extrovert, and Troy definitely is not. So I think he's attracted to Harris and he doesn't really know why, is the vibe I'm getting. I'm really enjoying it. I think this might be one of my favorite beginnings to a book. I really do like Troy's point of view because if you're looking at him from the outside, you think he's a total asshole, but it's that idea that you don't really know what other people are going through, and hurt people, which is Troy. But he is learning to be a better person, and he's apologizing when he hurts people's feelings. So there's growth there already, which is great to see because you just get little smidgens of him in the last book, and you can tell is not a nice person, but also that he's kind of on the outskirts of it and is just trying to fit in. And now that's really coming to light with his POV. So I'm enjoying this book. I really am. It's Thursday. I have work to do. I think I started this video like 2 weeks ago and I've DNF'd one book and I'm in the middle of 2. Feels so out of character for me, but whatever. I'm just gonna roll with the punches and take it as it comes. And that right now means probably binging this at some point when I get to the point where I can't put it down. I think my average rating with these books is like 3.5, and I currently feel like this one might be higher. So I updated you on Role Model at 100 pages, and then I picked it up at 6:30 p.m. that same day, yesterday, and I read until 11 p.m. and finished the book. I knew that was gonna happen. I think I said something like, once I get to the point where I can't put it down, we'll see what happens. And guys, this is my favorite book in the series. I rated this 5 stars. I did not see that coming at all, but I welcome it. That is, I think, what I needed is a 5-star book this week, just to feel something. I think I filmed a little bit of B-roll, and then right after I put the camera away, I was getting so giddy. Zach kept making fun of me for laughing. It's because they're so cute together, and there was a puppy, and the jokes that Harris and Troy were just throwing at each other were so cute. The banter was so cute. I love it. I love the relationship. And I've said it before, I don't believe in soulmates, but like if I did, these two characters are soulmates. I really truly believe that. There are obviously some larger outside problems, as there always are in these books, and I think this one did it the best, and that's part of the reason I liked it, because there are family issues and health complications and things that come along with life were put into this book in a very realistic way, and there was some misdirects which I was not expecting, which I kind of appreciated because I kept waiting for something to happen that didn't. Because of all of these things and Troy's past, he was really just hating himself. He spent so long not liking who he was as a person, and Harris was his comfortable spot and a place where he could be himself, and he really needed that just to break out of this hate that he felt for himself and all of these bad feelings he had towards himself. Troy found himself doing small things for Harris just as an excuse to be around him, and these acts of service, which is always my favorite love language to see in a book because it is my love language in real life. And surprisingly, Ilya is someone else that Troy felt he could be himself with, and there's this blossoming friendship throughout the book, and there's a lot more Ilya than I was expecting, which I really, really, really loved. I've said it before reading these books, and I'll say it again. You can tell by the writing that Rachel Reid loves Ilya as much as we do. He is a role model for Troy in the best way possible. He kind of taught him that you can still be yourself and you don't have to be happy and perfect all the time, but you can be a nice person. It's a wonderful connection that they shared. And Ilya is a great captain, you can tell in this book. So yeah, this is easily my favorite story of the whole series. Way better than I expected it to be. But I'm going to do something crazy, and I'm going to pick up the next book, the last book that is out, that is published, of Ilya and Shane, because reading about Ilya so much was wonderful. So I'm going to pick up the next one in this vlog, because why not? I haven't actually really read a lot of books in this video. It's Friday. I'm about to start work, but I'm going to read hopefully most of the night, most of the weekend. So it's not on my July TBR, but I'm okay with that. Now, I've tried to avoid spoilers, and I have for the most part, but people just love to put in the comments of TikTok videos about heated rivalry. Oh, no one even knows that this and this and this is going to happen. Well, now we do. So I do know a couple of things, but I think less than normal. This is thick. This is 400 pages. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. Okay, this is the next book I'm reading in this video. Maybe the last one, depends how fast it goes, depends how much I have to say. Okay, these books are taking me out of whatever that was because I started reading this after work with a coffee. I'm 100 pages in and all I want to do is keep reading, so it worked. It is so nice reading a sequel in this series with Shane and Ilya. I think any couple we've seen before would be a nice change because it gets right into it. Okay, I like how slow these books are, I have to say, with them getting together, but this one you can skip that part and it's more emotional and it is more about the bigger picture. Even though they all kind of have been, this is maybe going to already replace Role Model as my favorite. I'm not sure. We're not there yet. And because I did see that people tandem read them, I was expecting it to start right at the beginning of Role Model, but I think this starts the season before, and you're supposed to read like more than half the book before you get to the part where it's the same. I think this is going to hurt me. It might make me cry. It's already making me a little bit sad, but also the happy parts are just so happy, and the things that they're going through together are intense, definitely intense. They definitely have very real feelings. They more or less are communicating those feelings. Sometimes they're keeping some things away from each other because they think it's not worth it to bring it up, is the vibe I'm getting, because they're both like, well, we've done this for a decade now. What more is there to it? Let's just keep going. So if their feelings change, I think they just kind of assume that the others hasn't. And in that way, miscommunication is better because it's not like they're lying or purposefully hiding things. They just think that they're the only ones thinking it, which I think is fair in this case. I hope that made sense. Anyway, Zach's watching a movie downstairs now. We ordered pizza and watched 2 episodes of Survivor, and especially going from this to Survivor, but I've been saying it, we're on season 4 now, I've been saying it every season. The casual homophobia and sexism in these early seasons is really getting to me. Watching that and then going back to this is important. I think it's making me feel a lot more for this book. It's almost 7 o'clock on Friday night. I have a whole bowl of Doritos. I have a dog with me, and this is what the rest of my night looks like, I think. Maybe I'll take a bath at one point. That sounds really nice. Just know I'm over here having a great time really glad to have 2 books in a row that I really want to read. And I'm already excited for the next one, to be honest. And I know I'm going to feel pain for both of them because they are both already going through the things that I knew they were going to based on the comments I read, like I said. But it doesn't make it easier to read because I think especially because we got a TV show with wonderful actors, it feels way more real than it maybe would have otherwise. I don't know. Okay, halfway update with a jump scare because I'm ready for bed. It's 8:30. I've read another 100 pages. First, this book is making me feel a lot of emotions, mostly for Elia. I think maybe the miscommunication, not even miscommunication, the fear of sharing their true thoughts to one another is becoming very sad. It's still realistic, but it is making me very sad for them that they feel like they can't tell each other because they're worried the other person won't feel the same and then things will change because they're in what can only be described as a comfortable situation, as comfortable as it can be in the situation that they're in, hiding their relationship for this long. Feel very sad for anybody who just can't be themselves and is so scared to just say who they are. And I know that this is mirroring real life for a lot of people, and it makes me really sad. That is my halfway main thoughts. To lighten the mood a little, my other main thought is that I might be a Hayden hater. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who wants to read these books and hasn't yet, so I'm not going to. But some of the things that Hayden says to Shane, I think you don't say those things to your best friend. You are there for them if things go wrong in their life, and you don't say, I told you so. So I'm hoping that if something happens, the words I told you so don't come out of his mouth, but they might. Hayden reminds me of a guy who means well, but when he's left alone with his kids, he probably says he's babysitting. That's the vibe I get, and I don't love that vibe. I think those are actually my only thoughts. I think I'm getting close to the part where this coincides with role model, and I'm excited for that because there's a lot of nuances that are leading towards that, and I'm actually really glad that that book comes first. I think that's fun that that book starts halfway through this one with a different person's story. Now I'm just kind of theorizing about who else we might get a book for, or if it's just going to keep being sequels. I haven't actually looked if the next one's the last one. I don't know. But I feel like there could be spin-offs for so many of these people, and I would love all of them. I think that's my whole update. I just want to keep reading. 200 pages and it's only 8:30. I might be having a repeat of last night and staying up way too late and reading. But tomorrow is Saturday, and on Saturday mornings, Zach just brings me a coffee in bed. So either I'm finishing this tonight and sleeping in a bit, or I'm finishing it in the morning with a coffee that he brings to me. Both are really good options. So I'm just going to keep doing updates when I have them. What I'm reading is giving me heart palpitations and I can't go through it alone. Oh, I look naked. I'm wearing shorts, I promise. I feel like I need to start back. I need to go back. Fuck, holy Oh, I want to reread these 4 pages again. I look like a gremlin. Another 70-page update. This book is amazing. Oh my goodness. It's also kind of fun to know what's coming because of the last book I read, but from someone else's perspective. I love it. Okay. I'll keep going alone now. Starting a book on a Friday afternoon and finishing it before you go to sleep is the best feeling in the world. Because now it's Saturday morning and I just read a book yesterday and it left me feeling so good. This book is so good. And I'm going to start by saying I might have been wrong about being a Hayden hater. I think he's not the greatest best friend. Okay, he's a good friend. He's a great friend. Maybe not a great husband. I don't know. I can't decide. I can't decide if I'm a Hayden hater or not. That's besides the point. He's not. The story's not about him. But I feel like I had to clear the air because some more things happened. I was expecting this book to hurt me more than it did. I actually felt anger more than I felt pain. But any book that gets me like laughing and crying and giddy and freaking out is a great book. This book is a great book. This is the best one in the series, of course, but I think it's also because, like I said, I didn't need to learn any new characters. Their story was already established, and that is the best part of a sequel. As much as I love getting to know a new world and some new characters and some new people, this felt a lot more comfortable to me coming into this and just being ready for whatever it brought to me, because I already know and love these characters. I simultaneously feel like maybe it was a little bit rushed at the end, while also appreciating that it went month by month. So it went February, March, April, May, June, July, and it ends in July. And it is just one season, actually. I thought it was 2 hockey seasons, it's just one. I didn't realize that Troy starts in Ottawa in his book halfway through the season, partway through the season, not halfway, like a month or 2 in. Intermission. I think that the way that they learn to communicate is wonderful, and that they continue to change as people, but they change together as best they can. I really loved it. And the discussion about mental health that continues into this book and is actually expanded on in this book. And there are specifically conversations with a therapist that I really appreciated, where she was asking what is a realistic worst case scenario and a realistic best case scenario. And I feel like that's important for everybody to think about. That's something that I've brought up in therapy quite a bit, that I've talked about in therapy quite a bit. And I think it is really good at honing in the anxiety that you can feel about things kind of spiraling, is to think about the reality of it. And sometimes the answer is you're not going to know until you talk about it and you communicate. The attention drawn to mental health in this book is beautiful. I'm giving this 5 stars. Again, another 5-star book. It makes me think that maybe Role Model was closer to a 4.5, but based on the feelings it gave me, especially after DNFing the book before that, I had to give it a 5 stars, but this is a true 5 stars, I think is what I'm getting at. I have a lot more annotating to do, just like I did in Role Model. The thing is, I don't write in the books. I just highlight the things that I really appreciate. And in these books, mostly it's dialogue, because there's not like deep writing and quotes that I want to write down and remember, but it's just the dialogue that made me feel something. There are so many larger conversations that happen in this book, finally, about the hockey world and the NHL on a large scale, that I think have been kind of hinted at in the past books, but not really talked about. And they talk about in this book why they think it was brushed over with the other people's stories. So 5 stars. I do think I'm going to end this video. I don't think I'm going to have much more to say about the Agatha Chrstie book I'm reading, just because it is short stories and they're not going to change much. It is what it is at face value, especially just like a cozy mystery whodunit. I love romance, especially when it goes deeper like this and it talks about the bigger picture and bigger things. So I'm very happy to have got caught up on that series. I am just sad that I'm caught up, because the next book is coming out next year. When is this due to come out? Next summer. Okay, it's fine. I can wait. That's so far away. Oh well, at least we get a TV show before then, right? The TV show's coming out in the new year. Thank you so much for coming to this video. If my schedule is correct, the next one I will be filming and posting is my August TBR, but I am also planning on doing a 24-hour read for real this time. In the past, I've set a clock for 24 hours and I read for as many days as it takes, as fast as I can. So it's like 3 days, 4 days. But Zach is going away at the end of the month and he is like, Carla, just stay up for 24 hours as best you can. If you go to sleep for like 3 or 4 hours, whatever. But he thinks I should do it, especially because I'll be home alone and he won't be here distracting me. I'm gonna try it. So if you're interested in that, watching a 31-year-old try to stay up for 24 hours straight when she couldn't even do it as a teenager successfully, oh, it's gonna make me feel awful, but I'm gonna try my best. That's coming in the next few weeks, probably. Maybe in August sometime. I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you next time. Bye.